Let's see here. Let's see. I think everything is all good to go. Let's take a looky loo. All right, it is. All right. Welcome to episode 725 of the Black Brain Trust. This is Black Cultural Intelligence. Fake Afro-Futurism. Jesus Christ, I hate to have to do this to Chaotic Truth. I really do. Like many in the past, in this manosphere, as they call it, you've legit barked up the wrong tree, bro. First of all, well, I see you, Dave. How you doing, brother? Welcome. You say you need to know history to give context. This isn't even about history. This is about his very notion or concept of Afrofuturism altogether. This guy is way fucking off base. This is gonna be one of those live streams, bro. I'm just telling you right now. And let's do this. Press. Can you guys press 187 if the sound of the music is cool? Please believe me, that's a random number. Okay, trust me on this. So yeah, we need to talk about this, right? Um, he's actually still live right now. I mean, they have gone on, like I would say, we're going on 6 or 7 hours over there. We got 6 or 7 hours, or close to that, or wherever they're at. But there were some things that he had said in his sort of like his monologue, if you want to call it that, early on, right? He sort of took shots at, say, ADOS, number one. Number two, took shots at boomers and Gen X. I am a flag waving member of Gen X, okay? So I kind of took exception to that a little bit. Um, then I also had this sort of position of like, well, if you're going to make distinctions between, say, like ADOS and people on the continent, and you're going to have this sort of I'm better than you positioning and all this and all that, dare I say you're actually not a futurist, right? Because a futurist has a globalist mindset. And so um, I'm thinking that you already kind of come equipped with a team of brothers that spanned various continents, right? So that we can connect global business. I'm thinking you have something like this when you're going to talk this subject matter of Afrofuturism. But this is a young millennial here, and he kind of doesn't quite get it. Matter of fact, his best reference for Afrofuturism was a character from Star Trek. And one of the first questions that I asked him when I went on the panel today, which he kicked me off, by the way. So I'm not gonna bother like pulling it up and then playing it back. I don't like to do all that shit. The link is it's in the description. They're, like I said, they're still live, so just go back and catch it later. But he literally kicked me off because I said, well, taking a science fiction sort of fantasy aspect to Afrofuturism, that's cool. That's cool. I said, but what are your thoughts on practical application? I was like, how do you see that happening? And he goes like, well, what do you mean? And I was just like, well, I mean, you know, if we were to speak about Afrofuturism in a very realistic context, we'd be talking about fourth industrial based technologies. And I said, do you know what the cornerstones? Do you know what the cornerstones of the fourth industrial paradigm is in terms of technology? And he told me no. And I was like, wait a minute. You're talking about Star Trek, but you know nothing about fourth industrialization. Holy shit. And then on top of that, you want to bring up boomers and Gen Xers and ADOS and you're giving me a character, Uhuru or whatever the hell her name is, the black chick from Star Trek. Do you know what her inspiration? This person who became an astronaut. You know what her inspiration was? A fucking TV show. This is the best you got, you guys. I, I said, holy fucking shit. This guy cannot be serious. So, as per usual, when I do these type of things, which I don't know what possesses me to do. You know what, Ryle? I blame you. I blame you, bro. Um, so I went up there to kind of one. I wanted to challenge that whole Gen X notion. I said, well, Bezos is a Gen Xer, Jobs was a Gen Xer, founders of Google were Gen Xers. I said, dude, name the tech companies, bro. We're all Gen Xers. I was like, I'm a chief technical officer, right, of a tech company, Gen Xer. What the fuck? Huh? Really? Yeah, dude, you've lost your marbles. You're off. What is it? You lost your marbles. You know, like what the hell? Like, how are you even confidently sitting up here saying this shit? Well, and then you have the nerve to bring up ADOS. I was like, what? So I stepped up as an ADOS Gen Xer Chief Technological Officer, right? And guess what he did? He kicked me off. I was literally the antithesis of every fucking thing this dude was sitting up here spewing out for I don't know how long, right? And I Royal, hit the link, man. Come on up, dude. You were there. So um I'm like, whoa, okay. And I'm like, all right, you're talking about this as an idea. I was like, bro, you're talking to somebody who is a part of a collective who has a platform predicated upon it. We're in two different leagues. You asked somebody to come up who had some sort of disagreements. I did, and you booted me off? Chaos. Not Chaos Rain. Shout out to you, Chaos Rain. Chaos, Chaotic Truth. I'm sorry. Okay, what the hell does that even mean? Can we start there? Look, there's schematics that I could show you where you could say, hey, that design is very complex, right? So complex design makes sense, right? Even with no vowels. What the hell is a chaotic truth? More like a docile falsehood. Dude, you should rename your channel, fam. We're about to cook the shit out of you. We're literally about to cook the shit out of you, okay? Yeah, so anybody who knows Chaotic Truth, I think they're still alive. If you want to like go pop up into Lapeef real quick, just be like, hey, Brain Trust is hollering at you. I'd appreciate it. I need that guy to come over here. Cause see, I have his channel up and I have like our videos. We're gonna do some comparison. We're gonna do some contrast and comparison. We're gonna look and see who knows what about Afro-Futurism. That's what we are about to do. If somebody, yeah, can you guys let them know, hey, Brain Trust is hollering at Lapeef because Lapeef, JR, whatever your name is, you need to vet your content creators a little bit better, dude. Really, like you really should, bro. Right? Because we're gonna embarrass this guy, and I don't mean to embarrass you, but he's gonna get embarrassed. Yo, Afro Sci-Fi, you said, what's today's show about? Well, we had somebody who booted me off of an Afro-Futurist panel or like kind of live stream or whatever. After he kind of made some really weird remarks, right, pertaining to say like boomers, Gen Xers, ADOS. It was just very weird, and I guess this guy's Nigerian born or something like that. I mean, he's Nigerian born, and I know Nigerians. Shout out to Engineering Cannabis, right? But not all Nigerians who are Nigerian born our whole jokes, but this guy is. That's what I'm saying. I want to make sure we disparage it, right? It's not disparage, but we make a distinction. There's right your engineering cannabis types, and then you have jerk offs like this dude who once he found that he was speaking to someone who was he was not he was out of our league, then he promptly dropped me for a bunch of people who don't know what the hell. I'm trying to watch my language. What the hell Afro-futurism as a subject matter is all about. Yo, Ryle. Okay, wait. He might still be muted. Okay, so
No, I'm here. I'm here.
oh, okay, man. Um, you listened in on that live stream, bro. While
Yeah, I did.
I'm
Made a
pulling
couple comments too.
up things here, while I'm doing that, dude, let the kind folks know what you thought about that.
um, when I come on the trust, man, I try to watch my language, man. But
You good, bro? No, this is smoke show. This is smoke show today. You got it.
this today was just, I joke with you, how when me and Mike V was having a back and forth last year about the opportunities for us linking up with brothers in Africa. One of my main reason for pushing back against him uh, was because of particular dudes that was featured on the Peep today. Um, like I said before, um, if we're doing business, and I've said this, me and you've had these conversations about dudes, content creators in the manosphere, like, you can't insult your audience. That's not a good business model, period.
It's a shit business model.
Like, you just can't go out here insulting your potential demographic and then and expect them to spend money with you. Um, like I said to you earlier, like, if we're trying to do business in Africa, like, we can't go over there and be like, "Hey man, y'all sold us into slavery, man," and y'all, we can't go with
Like
that kind of
that
bravado.
is such a jackass move.
It's like if we made it to the point that we could sit down and actually be discussing business in a foreign land, we're close to the pie.
This
Like,
this
we're close.
dumbass just did the literal legit opposite of what you just said.
like, like we're close to the pie. So that would be just completely counterproductive of all the work that we had put forth to get to that point, just to crater the shit. And
Yeah.
so, when you have, one of the things that, me and you talk about, and we touched on this earlier today, is that, like, when it comes to our group, like, and this is even kind of on a global scale.
Mhm.
We got to learn how to talk to people, not how we talk to our friends and our family members. It's like when you're in college and you're writing a research paper. Now, everybody knows that there are certain grammatical rules that you have to follow when you're writing a research paper. You can't write a research paper how you talk in your everyday language. You can't do that. Everything that you can say in your paper can be right and exact. But if you use slang and all these different types of things, you will be deducted points based on not following the rules in terms of grammatical uh, errors. And a lot of blacks, like, they commit grammatical, they commit the social, um, 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 what's synonymous with the social in terms of grammatical errors. You start a stream and you come in talking about a subject that you don't even like. How can you talk about something on this particular scale that is actually created by the very people you're denigrating?
ADOS, or I'm sorry, Afrofuturism is an ADOS concept. There's no Afro Africans.
Right. And so you're already coming into the conversation. You're coming into the conversation thinking that you're better than the people like they're
I understand Afrofuturism better than you do.
right. And the thing is first of all, you're very young. You're not seasoned like that. And it behooves you, like, especially when you got up on the panel, because when you got up on the panel, that was a chance to have an actual legitimate dialogue about the topic. He didn't want to dialogue about the
He
topic.
wasn't trying to have that.
He
He wasn't
wasn't
trying.
there for
Yeah, he
dialogue.
wasn't there for that.
He was there to use he was there to specifically use Afrofuturism to beat Ado's people into submission.
Well, that's funny. I, I'm curious, dude. What do you think? Where do you think he may have gotten this subject matter from?
Me personally, I'm sorry, I have to say this. Like,
Hmm. I probably
yeah,
agree with you. I'm more than likely I agree. Matter of fact, 100%, I agree with you. Say it.
from Brain Trust, I
Thank
really
you.
believe that
Yeah.
I believe he swagger jacked the content.
Well, let's
This,
see here. We
this,
looking at a live stream from over a year ago.
I
You,
mean,
you see that right
this
here?
this topic is so far left for a lot of black people
Can y'all
that
name another place that talks about Afrofuturism?
yeah, like you don't just wake up one day and say, yeah, I'm just talking about Afrofuturism. Like you got to get that from somewhere.
Wait a minute. Wait a
And
minute.
I want to know where they actually got
Wait.
they got it.
This was also a year ago. Look at that.
That's what I'm saying, man.
Look at that.
Like,
Okay. Well, we got. I mean, you already know. I mean, like I said, we're doing a response to this jackass.
it was funny, man, too, because we were privy to a stream um, on the Roger report where you had a young dude who got on the panel and he basically when he was told that he should look at Africa as a potential place in terms of a mate or whatever, his and also I think business as well. His response was, "Well, I'm waiting for Africa to develop," and I was like, "We have people in the brain trust who've already touched down over there who have already made connections."
Do I need to pull up? Do I need to pull up the Black Brain Trust in Africa? Do we want to do
Right.
that? You want to do that real quick?
Right. So
All right,
you
hold up.
basically have somebody who was completely uninformed, but when you constantly go into channels where people are uninformed content creators, you're going to be operating with old knowledge. And you're going to be out here making yourself look like an idiot because you're not in the know.
Wait a minute. What's this right here, dude? Black Brain Trust in Africa, episode 452, the African Tech Summit. Yo, chaotic truth. I need you to pull up, fam. We need to have we need to have a legit as we need to have a real Afrofuturism conversation. Like, where the fuck you at, dude? Oh, he's still alive. Okay, got it. Very convenient, right? I mean, now mind you, Ryo, there's a whole motherfucking playlist, right? Black Brain Trust in Africa, Black Brain Trust in Africa, Black Brain Trust in Africa, Black Brain Trust. You feel me? Oh, and just look at this, by the way. I'm just saying because see, and I'm showing y'all all of this, right? And all of the content is broken down into playlists. It is archived, okay? And the reason why Rael and I are doing this because we need to compare and contrast Black Tech Talk, the digital transformation strategy for Africa 2030. I wonder what Chaotic Truth has on this right here. We're going to go and check out his channel in just a second, you guys, because we're going to do some compare and contrast. We're going to see who the real Afrofuturists are. See, that's what we're going to do. For all the bullshit, we're going to pull receipts. It's going to be on the record. It is what it is. But see, for homeboy to do what he did to me today, I had to hit Raul on the line. I was like, bro, smoke show? He was like, smoke show. I was like, all right. Mm-hmm. What are we talking about over here, Raul? Remember, we collabed on this one, right? On the business talk. What's this one right here?
Right,
What's that
right.
one?
I mean, you have a lot of people like him who was talking about history basically is unimportant. No, there are no group of people on the planet who are saying that their history is unimportant. Now, what I will agree with is when you have black people who will try to use their history as an excuse to be a failure. Now, I don't support that at all.
Well,
I don't support that at
as
all.
futurists, that's not our MO, right?
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
So when one of the things that this is why I speak so highly of him um, when I talk about Booker T. Washington is specifically because he was seeing in the future. Like he was so far ahead of his time. Like the things that he did at the time he did them was just you cannot underestimate and diminish, man, what this man was able to put forth. Like within, I think, a 20-year span, he built Tuskegee and he created the National Negro Business League,
Which
which
ended up becoming what?
was used as the template by Teddy Roosevelt to design the U.S. Chamber of Commerce.
Okay, that's a real Afrofuturist right there.
So, but again, um, who inspired Garvey because Garvey wanted to meet him. And the reason why he wanted to meet him was because he wanted to basically learn from him and learn how he did what he was able to do because he wanted to go to Jamaica and replicate Tuskegee in Jamaica. Because
Not
a
only
lot of people
that, but
don't
they was
realize,
trying. Okay,
hold on,
go
a
ahead.
lot of people
Go
don't
ahead.
realize that Garvey, he was a tradesman. He was blue collar. Most people
He was an
focus on Garvey
industrialist,
for
dude.
the Pan African stuff, but he was
He
a
was in
tradesman.
heavy industry, dude. Garvey was in heavy industry.
Yes, absolutely. So obviously he wasn't able to meet him because he passed on. But um, when you come in these types of conversations, completely uninformed about what has happened on the ground. There's a school in Liberia that is named after Booker T. Washington. That's how impactful he was. That's how impactful he was on the continent. They're not building a school in the honor of an Ado's man who didn't make an impact.
He didn't
Clearly,
do
he made an
shit.
impact.
Come on, man. Look what we got right here. Commercial real estate and urban revitalization in the fourth industrial revolution. That sounds like some Afrofuturistic shit to me, bro.
Right, right,
But we gonna just dig through a little bit more. We need to comb through the archives a little bit, right? We need to go a little bit deeper though. Before we slide on over to chaotic truth, and we check out what it is that he's been putting out here in terms of you know, an Afro futuristic discussion, so to speak, right? We've got Black Tech Talk, micro factory discussion and business in modeling, right? So we were modeling out how to cluster micro manufacturing, right? Setting up tech and manufacturing hubs to revitalize uh, black communities and stuff like that, right? That
hmm
was this conversation right here. You notice that's a tech talk. Okay, this one goes before the um the real estate one, right? So these two actually connect here. But like I said, we're just gonna kind of dig through here a little bit more. I want to get all this shit on the record here, right? Before we go over to Chaotic Truth Live's channel, and then we see what it is that he's got to say about Afrofuturism prior to today, mind you. Let's take a look here. Space and technology, dude. 6G satellites, microtransport explosion, tech pharma. Sounds like some Afrofuturistic shit to me. If the conversation that we're having is about breaking down the industries the trends, where things are going, how we can embed ourselves in it from a business standpoint, right?
Right.
Okay. Let's dig a little bit deeper, man. Shit, because the archives are thick, bro. It's over damn near what 800. This is the what the 807th. I have no idea. We're close. We're about to be scratching up on 1,000 vids here,
Mm,
and none of this is fluff. Black blockchain talk. Now, from an economic standpoint, from a supply chain and logistics standpoint, from all of that, what is going to be the new technology that they're gonna roll out to undergird tracking and record keeping in terms of digital ledgers? What's it called? Blockchain.
right.
Blockchain architecture, auditing, automation, chat. Gee, so we're talking about some real futuristic shit over here, right? Just want to make sure Mr. Chaotic Truth Live understands who it was that he bumped off of that goddamn live stream, Ryo, because you were there.
Mm-hmm.
African op. Wait a minute. Let me stop. African opportunities, micro miners, and digital globalization. Ryo, do you think he had any idea who it was that he was fucking with?
No, absolutely not.
No, no. Well, let's take a look, man. Let's take a look at old boy here. This is him right here. Check him out. All his glory, right? That's him. Let's dig through the let's dig in the crates real quick. Dad shoots teen carjackers. Should parents be charged for their children's crimes? Man killed by thug squeegee man in Baltimore. NYC man arrested for defending self against ex-con. At lead attorney consultation got me to 4,000 subscribers. Here, listen. What was this? Chicago police barred from chasing criminals. America's turning into a third world country. Oh, this is a this is an immigrant conservative.
Oh boy.
Listen, wait, hold on. Let's go. 5 Tampa Bay Rays players declined to wear El Gibbet Pride themed jerseys. Is that Afro-futuristic to you, bro? Is any? Well, I'm not finished reading this. We're gonna dig for a while, right? He's got a lot of shit here, so we're gonna just comb through. But so far, are you getting an Afro-futuristic feel for this guy in any way, shape, or form?
No, I told you.
No,
I want to know how this topic was brought to bear on
bro,
that show.
bro,
This topic is so far left.
yo,
It's so far afield in this particular
where did you
platform.
get it from?
You got that from here.
Where did you
Like,
get
see,
it
because
from?
now we got to go to the man shit. Now we got to go to the man shit because you're not going to not try to associate with with the content you have over here, but at the same time, you're gonna swagger jacket because we've been seeing cats do this
Come on,
in
man.
these spaces.
We've been talking about it. We've been talking about it for the last
And
couple months, man. We've been
and
keeping.
the reason why dudes is out here swagger jacking because they ain't got nothing to talk about. See, we could do a stream on a myriad of topics because we well versed in different ranges of knowledge. So we could put something together and not just know, not just some, BS topic. Like this is,
You
you
mean like
know,
this one right here? Patrice Cullors spends BLM funds on lesbian lover. No
dude,
shit, dumbass.
dude we coming from it. See, that's the thing, man. Like, see, what a lot of these people don't understand is from a Generation X perspective, from a hip
Wait,
hop,
whoa, 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 whoa. Hold on,
hold
hold
on,
on.
let me say this.
Okay,
From a
okay,
hip
okay.
hop culture perspective, one of the things that you did not do from a 90s era perspective is be a biter, man. You didn't bite people's styles, man.
No, you
You
got
didn't
your ass
bite their
whooped for that.
styles. You came up with your own style. Like we were adamant about being true individuals walking our own individual path, man, coming up with our own styles. Like, so for all that talk about, he has something to say about Generation X. Like, dude, much of the world that you engage in from a technology perspective was created by Generation X.
But wait a minute. This nigga shit is only 8 months old. Hold the fuck up. He ain't. He new to this.
Very new.
Oh,
That's
you a baby, homie? Like you need to get your whole ass whooped now. Look
yeah,
at this.
that's what I'm saying.
This the
Like
only
these
one. This
dudes,
the
they
only
come up
live
in
stream.
here, dude. They come up in here, man. They
The
watch a couple
fuck?
videos. They watch some Fresh and Fit. They get all geeked up and psyched up. They ready. They think they ready to take on the world. They sticking their chest out, man. They gonna get that chest put back in the cage, man. You
What
gonna
the?
get that bird chest put back in the cage, man.
Hold
Because
up.
you don't
What?
understand. Because this ain't for a lot of these dudes. They think this is internet stuff. But for a lot of us who are men, this is real life stuff. We don't play with this. Like
Bro, like
we ain't
our
here to be
business is
played with
staked
like
in
little
this.
kids, like little boys. We ain't here to be treated like little boys. If y'all want to move on that little boy stuff, that's y'all business.
You want to
But
talk
we
about
ain't here
Star
for that,
Trek,
man.
nigga? We talking about real shit. That's why I was like, wait. What conversation are we having here? And I just showed y'all like homeboy shit, right? Like I'm like, wait, you ain't nobody to be booting me off of a panel when you don't, bro. I could put you up on game. Right, I'll put you up on Mike V. We'll put you up on game on what this whole Afro-futuristic shit is about.
Dude, I use the
You
rites
out
of
of pocket,
passage.
homie.
Oh, I use the rites of passages that we covered over here in the psyche joint. I've used that to completely refute everything he was talking about, and he put it up, but he didn't respond to it. And after that, he started putting some of my comments up, but he wouldn't address them. I'm like, dude, like you can't tell the Irish when they went through the potato famine and when the British were shipping them over in boats that had the same bacon and cotton and all those resources that they had, they were being shipped to the Americas on the same boat where the resources of their country were being shipped. They were being dropped off in the Americas while their resources were being taken to Britain. You can't tell those people to not remember in their history the potato famine and what it did to Ireland. You can't get the Armenians to say forget about the genocide that they still talking about it to this day. So how you want to sit here and tell black people in America that you don't have a right to I'm not saying use your history as an excuse to be a sucker and a failure. No, but you can't tell black people to not remember their history.
Well, I was
Like
gonna say
stop.
it's something that creates a potential impediment, right, to one's progress, because there are things that have crescendoed from that experience, right? And we're talking about institutionally speaking, right? Institutional racism policies, shit like that. Once again, stuff that you and I both well, technocratic in terms of if you're gonna ask what the fuck I am, okay? Anyway, right? However, I see virtues in conservative thought. See, I see what it is it's a synthesis of all these various concepts, right? How do we harness it into application vis-a-vis technology from a globalist standpoint? That's a whole different concept. Now, this is what I'm trying to show people right here. See, when you have punk ass niggas like Chaotic Truth Live trying to speak on some shit that literally, we're gonna go back to his channel, mind you. We're gonna dig in a little bit more because I need to compare and contrast for real to let this motherfucker know he's out of pocket, right? You gonna hold your L on this one, fam. African robots, startups, plasma fuel, and parallel universes. Where's Mr. Conservative talking about shit like this? Black geopolitics. Is it time for black male political party? I told y'all we technocrats over here. We trying to talk. We talking about a black male technocratic. What y'all talking about over there? Huh? What's Lapeef Network talking about? Just curious. Dead ass. I told you, we may just be throwing some shots out here. We was telling y'all about COVID and cannabis shit over 2 years ago.
Look, if if you invite me to your house and you have another guest that you invite into your home, and that guest does something to disrespect me, to make me uncomfortable, it's your duty as the host of this home to get things in order, to make sure I'm good before things get out of control. Likewise, you cannot put somebody, you cannot put somebody on a stream like that about a topic as sensitive as we know that this conversation can be regarding ADOS and Africans. You cannot put somebody, you cannot vet, you cannot not vet somebody and have them come up there with such a assertive, condescending tone about such a serious topic like this. This is at the feet of Lapeef specifically because it's his shit. It has his name on it. And any men who any dudes over there that consider themselves men, especially when from what I've seen, most of the dudes that be on that platform are ADOS. Y'all seriously gonna let this dude get on this platform and disrespect the contributions to not just America, but to humanity that Black American men have given? You're gonna just completely denigrate that?
Wait a minute.
You're gonna allow that to take place? No,
Wait a
man.
minute.
Homie gonna have to step up on this one.
Hold on, wait a minute.
I'm not feeling this.
Check it out. African tech startups, tech colonialism, STEM chat. But wait, I fucked up. I need to add these to the mix. This is what Mike pulled up in Johannesburg. Joe Berg touchdown. I forgot to add these to the goddamn live to the playlist, fam. Damn. Yep, that's right, nigga. Not only was we in Rwanda, we was in Joburg. Pre-pandemic, pre-COVID, niggas. Where was Lapeef at? Chaotic, where was you at, nigga? Huh? Where was you at, dog? Let's look some more, man. Because we digging in the archives. We about 2 years in. We ain't even 3 years in yet, fam. Right? That's when Mike first pulled up on the continent. Let's chop it up. Black blockchain talk. Africa blockchain. Black.
I mean, look at all these streams about the continent, bro.
Listen, that's why I'm like, dude, this dude got us all the way fucked up. Oh, over 2 years ago, we was talking about smart city, Internet of Things. We fast forward just about 4 or 5 months ago, we did the whole all things Internet of Things. It was a follow up on that one. Black blockchain talk, IoG, 5G and blockchain chat. Wait a minute, hold up. Let's go back over here, dude. The Baby and Danny Lee saga continues.
Man, come on, bro.
Will King Richard be Will Smith's first Oscar? You guys are seeing this shit, right?
Yeah.
Fresh and fit diss Abu and Preach, but guess who looks stupid? Nigga, you do. Oh, wait a minute. Afro-Futurism? Is Red Pill a cult? Rael, is Red Pill a cult? Would you allow your child to play football? Okay. You know what, dude? Nigga, I'm done. Hold on, man. MOT done pulled up.
T really said would you add those I think it's South African videos to the playlist?
Wait. He said, would you add though? Yeah. You know what? Let me pull it back up. I got it. MOT, you there, man?
MOT.
Yeah, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Man, what's going on, bro? How long you been listening? Hey, wait. How long you been listening in?
All of it. I mean, but you have to realize that this is the next stage because they're out of content. Hey, they're literally out of content.
Let's go, man. Let's go.
Yeah,
Hey, it's been a minute, man. How you doing, bro? How you doing, man? We ain't talked in a minute, man. How you doing?
I'm doing all right, man. You know, what I normally would be doing right now had disappeared because I normally do fertilizer from like March until like the retail season starts. But with nobody shit having shit in bloom, I had to like go back and learn how to research a new field on the fly and keep my business in kind of operation. It's been cool for me. I didn't really lose no money, but yeah, I still had to go back to the fundamentals of gaining new customers and all the kind of other stuff. So yeah. I mean, it's just that this was inevitably going to happen. Once they ran out of content, they were going to start creeping into other zones, like creeping into the passport situation or creeping into other stuff that they don't know about, because they have to realize that they put themselves in a situation where they constantly have to put out content based on BS. And you can't really do that with tangible things. And even if you do, you have to do it in such a way because the audience is not native to that type of discussion. Period.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And what it is rather than doing what most people do when they don't know what they're talking about, they bring the person on to talk about what they're good at. So that way it doesn't make it look like he's having a conversation. We're all, quote unquote, having a conversation with the experts kind of in the field.
And then what I
but
said,
rather than doing that, they just decide to,
No.
That's what they decide to do is, okay, so this guy is just, so what they do, they parrot the conversation. It's like how you see this everywhere within the space. They parrot the conversation because they don't have any substance, and then they lock out all the substance, and then they just have a conversation among ignorant people, and that's fine with them. It's really disgusting, and then they want to call themselves pro-black and like community-minded on top of being this damn ignorant, and they're like, so how come the people want substance won't team with us? Like, dude, you're outside of your lane, and if you'll do that with this type of information, what will you do with anything else? You would try to steal and cannibalize anything else as long as you could benefit off of it. You can't team up with dudes like this, man. They're parasites. Yeah.
We were just talking about this earlier, man.
Yeah.
Yep. I was just saying this, man.
Yeah, sure was.
That's exactly what it is, man. You have dudes who have been purposely locking out content like the Black Brain Trust, and then they'll do a video saying why Black men can't work together.
Bullshit. It's like it kills me, bro, because I'm over here like, and I told him, dude, I said, for the better part of 4 years, this platform basically that's the nexus of it. It's been an Afro-Futurist platform predicated on the practical application of a fourth industrial-based technologies. That's why we had to do a compare and contrast with what it is that we've been covering this whole time. By the way, T. Riddler, I just added that in. Alonzo, salute. I shared your one-on-one with Dr. Dunbar. Appreciate you, bro, for everything that you've done working with me. And just another, just another aside, real quick. See, we all work together, dude. Like outside, and to me, this is real, actually Afro-futurist shit. And Alonzo Hall is somebody everybody needs to go and goddamn subscribe to. Okay. Go and look.
What's going on, Shonda?
Hey, Shonda, how you doing, lady? How you doing?
What's up, Shonda?
The last community post here was me sharing his one-on-one with Dr. Dunbar. I need you guys to go sub to them, sub to Alonzo Hall, definitely. Basically drops heavy info in terms of life insurance and other key aspects that can ensure that we have a life worth living into the future. So go sub to that, brother, please.
Yeah, I agree. I shared some of the stuff on my
and if you're not
community tab.
Shit, you should be by now.
Yeah, but you're gonna have more of this happen, though. You're gonna have more of this creeping into other zones that they don't belong in, and not really. It's not even about the credit. It's about taking somebody's work and just representing it to people like it's your own personal idea. When there's people who's been in this field for a while, man, it's nuts, man.
That's kind of what we just really were not feeling.
Yeah, it's going to go. Yeah, the
Whoa,
gone
whoa, whoa,
chat.
whoa, 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 whoa.
What's going on there?
Go. What the fuck?
Man,
Yeah, in the
If
this
you
chat,
don't
man.
bring your
sun is
ass up
shining
here,
out here.
if you don't bring your ass up here, bro,
Man, yo, what's
if
up,
you
man?
don't bring,
Yo, Wesley was just talking
man,
about the
hold
goal.
up,
He was just like, yo, I missed the
yeah, because
goal,
I was
man.
going actually, I needed to go through the comments, man, because Wesley was like, I missed it going. I was like, man, he's still around.
Man, he talked you up, the goal.
They don't understand, man, that the good people leave, the good people move on, the good people are already doing stuff. Yeah, already doing stuff. Like live in real time. Like we're
All
not
right, yeah, you
sitting
coming up?
around.
You better, bro. You better, shit.
Right.
Yeah. The thing is, man, we got these modern day house Negroes, man, in the house waiting on something to happen so they can cover it when they could just go out here and get a career field like everybody else, man. That's the problem.
Or do
That's all.
like the brothers we've seen come through the Black Brain Trust who ended up getting certifications because of information
Hey, shout
presented
out to
in
Wesley.
spaces like this, who then
Shout
come back and say, hey, I got this certification and I learned about it through the Black Brain Trust. Thank you, brothers, for giving me this information.
Shout out to Wesley, man. Remember, Ryle, he dropped through the last live stream and told us what was up, right?
Right.
So there you go, right there. You proofs in the pudding. You know what I'm saying?
Yep. Yep.
Yeah.
They don't have anything to talk about. They don't have anything to talk about. Like MOT said, the cannibalizing. They're trying to swagger jack and trying to make it seem like this particular topic. It's like when you just see somebody just try to do something like this, you just look at it and just be like, they really tried that shit.
Man, why do you
Like
think
they tried that shit?
I've been hitting you like
I'm
nigga,
just
am I
like,
tripping?
wow. Like it's
Like,
like,
bro,
man,
like,
you have no,
dead ass,
have
am
you no
I
shame?
tripping?
It's crazy, man. It's crazy.
I mean, but you got to realize, man, that this has been a mainstay within Black society for a while, and you have to realize that it's like during my grandfather's time. He was talking about that the work that they did. Now, I was talking to Mike about this earlier about how they came from World War II, they weren't getting the GI benefits and all that kind of stuff, and there was nobody there fighting for them. Then all of a sudden, once the people got their stuff, everybody came out of the woodwork and tried to take credit for it, tried to parrot the conversation, knowing that they put no work in. Civil rights movement, same thing. 65 legislation, same thing. Most of these people didn't even want to be involved in the process until there was some W's going around that they didn't have anything to do with. That's when they wanted to come in and try to parrot the conversation and try to pull it over to their side. Like, dude, this
A lot
fake
of
ass
people,
shit has been happening as long as we've been here.
a lot of people that don't even realize when it came to people like MLK, there was a lot of black people that didn't support MLK. They didn't support that.
Dead
They
ass?
Yeah.
didn't support the boycott. They was pushing back against MLK
Yeah.
against the boycott.
Half the people at the time, black people, did not support that shit. Half the people did not support that shit. Half of them.
Yep.
Mm-mm-mm. Let me do this. I'm gonna go through. Let me go through the comments, y'all. Let me go through the comments real quick. Let's see here. Don McKee, what's going on, man? Welcome. Yo, give me. Hey, man. Welcome, brother. How you doing? See, man, I'll be having like different screens of and shit. I'll be going through here. Iori, he said these dudes aren't here to have no far-reaching transformative stuff, bro. Okay, I got you. And you know what, Iori? You've been around long enough to actually make that statement based on your own experiences interacting and conversing with us, right? So I take that statement as truth from you. Just being jazzy. Hey, lady, how you doing? Welcome. Ado, what's going on? T Riddler, okay, yeah, and I told T Riddler, okay, yeah, I added those videos to that. I slipped up on those, so I need to go through everything and make sure I got everything updated. Yoga said I went and found your intervention with chaotic truth on the peep. I understand what you mean. Yeah, man, he really wasn't trying to have a conversation, man, because he really wasn't built to have it, right? So then we had to do this over here. And then I had to show what it is that we've been talking about, which aligns with Afro-futuristic thought. versus, the gossip column that he runs over there, right? So that's just kind of what ended up happen here. Shonda,
Yeah,
how you doing, lady? Let me see. We
the
got
complex. You have to
Nicole.
understand the not so complex issue here. Like most of these people have the entertainment piece first, and then they trying to weave off in the other areas. The Afro-Futurism thing has nothing to do with the entertainment piece. Nothing.
Well, I was gonna say what it is that he tried to have an Afro-futuristic based conversation, and when there was a few things he said. He mentioned boomers. He mentioned ADOS. Right, what was the third? It was boomers. It was
He mentioned
ADOS.
boomers, Xers.
Boomers, Xers, and ADOS essentially, right? And he literally took a slight at me when I told him I was Gen X, right? But then the tone changed when I said, okay, I'm also the CTO of a tech firm. And then I said, what's funny enough is all the other tech firms that are really big that you're familiar with were all started by Gen Xers. They're gone.
What's up?
Yo,
What's up, man?
big
What's
bro.
going on? What's going on, folks?
Hey, man, somebody has smoke for the trust.
Man, what's this?
Yeah.
Talk to me about it.
Oh,
man.
yeah.
What's going on?
They got smoke for the trust, big bro.
Talk to me about it, man.
Well,
What
how
folks need? Well, that's always been an issue. That's always.
it's you know it as the consigliere, right? This Afrofuturism piece has been a thing, big bro.
Of course.
You called me of the day I got my first piece of hardware when I got into this whole micromobility thing, right? You remember that day?
Come on, man. Now,
You remember that?
I want to hear about the smoke.
Well, no, for the record, I'm just trying to illustrate this to everyone. Okay, I need you all to know how we got here. I just need y'all to know this shit because we going on what, damn near 5 years ago, nigga.
Yeah, that's
when that happened.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
See, so we just need to get it on the wood. We need to get it on the record, right? We ain't new to this shit.
No,
we ain't
no,
new
no.
to this. We're not new to this shit. Okay.
No. We ain't new to this.
You got it, bro. Go ahead.
No, I said we're not new to this at all. Not at all.
No. So basically, bro, on the Lapeef network, there's this cat named Chaotic Truth, right? He calls himself having an Afrofuturist live stream. Now, here's what he did. He did bring up, and he shamed boomers, and he shamed Gen Xers because he's a millennial himself, right? And he also kind of had some things to say about ADOS being Nigerian. Now, before I go there, you guys already know what this platform is about. Engineering cannabis is in the house, for example. Okay? See, and I went over all of the content in the catalog here, right, to show what it is that we're about. We're about building global business networks because that is the Afrofuturist mindset. Okay? He, on the other hand, he didn't have nothing for that, Nagon. You see, so he tried to take a swipe at brothers like you, brothers like me, right? Brothers like Rael, because we're Gen X, we're boomers, and we're ADOS. And I'm like, no, we're gonna dead that shit.
He basically hung you up like a chick that hangs up on you when you saying some real shit she don't want to hear. She just hang up the phone on you. That's what he did.
Well, if he really understood where we were, the brain trust and the whole deal, we look at things very globally. We look at things three-dimensionally. This is just a person you can't really talk to. Unfortunately, this guy is adamant. So, some guys' minds are right, others aren't.
I mean, I guess the thing was, bro, was that we were really trying to, I was trying to hit him with the fourth industrial based technological positioning, which essentially says, well, look, any kind of notions of Afrofuturism that you look to try to actualize is going to have to incorporate that, right? Now, in his monologue, right, he was kind of going back and forth in between a bunch of different shit, right? Like I said, he even took a slide at me as a Gen Xer, and I said, "You don't even know what the fuck you're talking to, bro." Because I guarantee you ain't nowhere in any sort of realm of what I do, right? And I could tell that by his piece of shit channel, which largely consists of celebrity gossip and social commentary, right? No tech, no Afro-futuristic thought, no deep dives into arts and sciences. Get the fuck out of here, bro. And he had the nerve to fucking boot me off because I made a legitimate counterpoint, dude, and he really had nothing for it. So then he had a conniption fit, bro.
Well, my view is don't ever go over there again. Don't waste your time with them. And
that won't be happening.
And then move on with those you can have a good conversation. Don't waste your time. That's all I say.
Yeah, that's not gonna be happening at all, bro. No, not at all, man. Like, dude, no. There's just no way that's gonna be happening, man.
I work with a lot of very creative.
But no, it was just kind of like a thing where he dropped the link because he said, well, listen, if there's people who have opposing viewpoint, I want to come up and hear it. I said, you do? All right.
well,
it's like, okay.
I guess he didn't want to hear it.
No, he didn't actually. No. No.
Typical.
Isn't it?
Yeah. Typical.
Yeah. So we had to do this. Because, wait a minute, here you go. Engineering cannabis. People still have time to argue about ADOS and African stuff with what's happening. And engineering cannabis, if you could please hit the link. I need you to come up here.
But what I find interesting about this is you go over there to Europe, you go over there in the Ukraine, there are African students being denied, and people and being abused by by white students, and well, not so much white students, but by the government and stuff there, and treating them like they were not second class citizens, not third class citizens, but fourth class. Some lower than dirt, and they're sitting over here arguing about ADOS and. It's like I said, we have a lot of people who are very confused out here right now. Very confused.
Yeah. Because we're not sitting over here talking about any and no types of separation between ourselves and the brothers on the continent. That actually flies in the face of the brain trust and our MO, right? And what it's been this whole time.
Correct. That is exactly correct.
Yeah, it doesn't.
Let's put it like this: much of what we have, right? A lot of civil rights and stuff that we were able to achieve here was because of international support. Much of the freedom of many African nations there were because of international support and support of. So that's a big part of the history. A lot of people may not want to look at that or acknowledge that, but that is a huge part of how we have operated here in the West and moving. That is just how that's been. So those who are lost and don't recognize this, you can try to teach them at a certain level, but if they're extremely obstinate with you don't waste time with them, because you really don't have a lot of time to waste with very blind, stupid people. I don't have time for that. And anyone
this is one of those live streams that we have to do on occasion to go. Right? We had to do it with Edward and BGS not too long ago.
Okay.
Right? Just to make sure that a position was firmly established and clear, and there was nary a response to that, right? I firmly expect the same thing after this one.
Well, like I said, when you look at Nkrumah and these people who came to the United States to really talk about, the development of their country and a lot of support that they got here in America, Black people and so forth. I mean, we really, I mean, the whole South African and divestiture and the whole game from there, how African Americans made that a part of our political agenda here to see to it that that they got control of the nation there politically.
Right.
Some of the examples I don't even want to even it would take you a long time to get through it, but there's so much that's here, and that's a big part of the problem that some of us are losing sight of here in this country. Is how important that those connections have been, and you didn't do this by trying to be just focusing on the United States only and only Black people here, and that's it, and we're going to get this thing done. That's never been done this way. It's never been done.
What it goes back to what Rael was saying earlier, right? About we got to go back to the time of Booker T. Washington, because we did, and you came through on in the chat on that live stream, man. It was about the co-ops and the trade groups and everything, right? And it was basically
right.
there was a potential link up between like Garvey and Booker T. Washington back then. They were looking at how to link this shit up, right? So these dudes were globalist minded, futurists back then. That's why I was like, yo, we gotta dead this cat with this bullshit he talking. Like he ain't sniffing or scratching nowhere near the science, Nagone. Real talk, big bro.
He's lost, and it's fear. What motivates a lot of people to talk that way? He's afraid. There's fear. He probably is one of these guys that love whitey, don't believe in racism and all this kind of craziness, and he's afraid. He's one of these guys.
Well, he's a professed conservative. Now I'm saying, like, we value elements of conservative thought even over here. Like, we're well-rounded individuals, but I mean, if you want to just kind of hedge all that shit over there, right, and then start talking Afro-Futurism without considering other concepts, then that means you really haven't really thought this one out, dog.
It's cloud chasing, man. It's nothing but cloud chasing. For me, I think you got to echo Nagone.
No, you know what? I don't know. Nagone is sounding okay. I can hear him. I'm not really sure how maybe coming back on the other side. Go ahead, Nagone.
Let me kind of come back up.
You gonna drop down, come back up? All right.
Yeah, because I can hear you fine.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I can hear him too. So okay.
Yeah, somebody's in chat said it too.
Yeah, I seen it. Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, you good, man. Go ahead.
Let me drop down and let me come back up.
You sound bad too?
I'm just want to make sure it's not me.
Okay. All right. All right. So Rael dropped down. They're gonna drop down. They're gonna come back up. I referenced Nagone as the consigliere. He is the elder statesman of the Black Brain Trust. So let's just say before I went off the goddamn cliff, guess who it was and is that I call? It's Nagone. Okay, for those of y'all that don't know, Nagone have been around for a good minute. Okay. Been around for.
It's cloud chasing, man. Like MOT was saying, it's cannibalizing. You're seeing people, man, put Kevin's name in their streams. People who couldn't stand him, using his name.
Right.
You have so many of these people, man, who are trying to use YouTube to reinvent themselves instead of actually doing the work like he talked about. Rest in peace to him. They don't want to do any work. When that chick pulled up on Edward Anderson about that Moynihan report thing that BGS talked about.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
It's like, dude ain't even, as much as BGS talked about it, and these are dudes who rock with him hard. like if you're gonna rock with somebody hard, and if you're gonna tout some of the things he said, like, dude, when he drops some information for you, like at least respect somebody who you regard as a master teacher. Y'all read the information. You got too many lazy people who don't really want to do any kind of real deep dive on certain topics, because when you have to deal with these certain types of topics, many of these topics require you to sit back, man, crack open a long book and really get really fully immersed in it so you can really understand what you're dealing with. And many of these people are just flat out lazy. I thought that him, especially somebody like you that has been a part of building the Black Brain Trust, a think tank, um, for I will say for Black men specifically, but for any some women that rock with it, they could use it for their sons. They give it to them too. But for him to be so unaware of who you are represent, because there are people that you have talked to over there who could say, hey, this guy he's legit. He's coming from a background where he's put some work in. You know what I'm saying? For people to be just that tone deaf to not understand, like, why would you want to offend somebody that represents something like the Black Brain Trust, who is everything that the Black Brain Trust has been about giving the information to brothers so they can be productive and step up and be on their purpose. That's it. It hasn't been a place for beefing and just goofy, clownish shit. It has been nothing but about serious topics, serious information, helping men grow. I mean, I've seen plenty of men say, "Hey, yo, man, I got the certification. I learned about it through here." Like, you have people like Dr. Phoenix who will get on here, break down the military, what it can do for you, MLT as well. I mean, you just got so many different variations of Black men who represent different lanes, that it's just amazing how it could be such a negative projection in this particular direction, when the formation of this space was specifically coming out of an experience in the space that basically men said, we're tired of those particular topics. We're tired of that. We see something on the horizon that's different, that's going to be different, that people need to be aware of. We're gonna formulate something over here so men can be aware. And it's just, to me, it's just like, it just makes me just, I really, seeing this stuff happen to the Brain Trust, I really get to see what Booker T. Washington was going through when he
Yeah.
had so many naysayers. Black men had so many naysayers. I mean, people who were academics but who weren't in the game, who were not in the game of business, who all they did was just sit on the sideline and talk about how imperfect he was. Well, I don't like the way he did it that way. But
Or
you're not
like,
in the game, though. You're not even in the game to even suggest he's wrong, because you're not even in it like that.
that's what I'm saying. Like this cat, right? This chaotic truth cat, who this his first foray into the conversation, right? With nary no nothing, right? That points to any sort of involvement in any kind of content created or centric around that, or any sort of prior thought that he's put into this type of shit. I was like, you're a whole goofy ass dog. And I'm like, you're not even listening to people who have curated 4+ years, and that just because it starts at the beginning of when this channel was created on YouTube, doesn't mean that even prior to that we weren't putting in work on BGS shit and stuff like that. And then you have brothers who are part of the whole Manosphere 1.0 paradigm, which, by the way, for those of y'all that are here and you're listening in and all that, salute to everyone. Johnny Blaze, what's going on, brother? How you doing, man? Welcome. uh, that look, this is nothing new that's being spoken of here. Now, Yogami said the jab he took at all ancestors and ADOS was unwarranted and unbased. One of the reasons I'm here, both TBBT and Black Manosphere, is because you touch on specific topics of such importance. I'm just saying, dude, that's the reason why we had to fire this shit up, because I was like, if we're futuristic and we're futurists in thought, what does quote unquote ADOS, quote unquote FBA, quote unquote, like fill in the blank, what does that have to do with anything with regards to a futurist mindset? Okay. And the position that I asked him about this from was the position that, okay, well, over here we're comprised of brothers that are all over the diaspora. We're everywhere. So when you say that kind of shit, it sounds laughable to us. It literally sounds ridiculous.
Absolutely ridiculous.
Right. I'm gonna do this. Hey, I'm gonna just step away. I'm gonna go use the restroom real quick. Hey, go ahead and chop it up, man. I will be right back.
Go ahead, Nicole. I know you had to come back up.
All right, go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah. I just listen to what you're saying, and I am, like I said, I look at what's going on in Black YouTube right now to a large extent. I listen to a lot of stuff that I hear from folks, and I hear a lot of craziness. I hear just a lot of madness. I don't hear. I hear very little factual information being dropped. I hear real idiocy going on. People taking ridiculous types of how would I say, positions based on nothing, and no one's prepared to do any real work. No one wants to do any work. We were doing voter registration drives this past weekend. People hitting the streets, doing things that we're trying to progress and move forward in the community. I don't see anybody talking about any of this kind of stuff. I see people talking about women and how these females are not taking care of them at a certain level, and all this other stuff, which is utterly useless. If you're very productive and you're moving forward, you're not so much worried at this stage about what women are doing. If you're focused and you're in your groove, the women kind of come along. It's not like you're sitting here begging them for anything. I don't beg any woman for anything. Most women that I see now, they're coming to me saying what they can get from me. Help, political, economic, however it goes. This is the game. When you're about your business, you're a resource. You have some value. But anyway, I don't want to get all into that because we have definitely um, got past a lot of that. I mean, there are folks out here that are caught up in and you know, I don't to be honest with you, I'm having a difficult time understanding what else is crap about. It's garbage. It's a grift.
It's a
I don't
grift.
see
Yeah, it is. It's actually, it is that.
Anyway, go ahead. You were gonna say
No,
something? Go ahead.
it's um people have found out that they can get paid keeping people triggered emotionally. And so a lot of these topics that center on black this, black that, um, it resonates with people because of, obviously traumatic, some traumatic life experiences. Um, and, when you go back 30, 20, 30, 40 years, when people were having discussions about black issues, they were reasoned discussions. You had people who had did a dearth of research, who were able to come and formulate some educated position. Whether they was right or wrong, at least they put the time in to really study. You know what I'm saying? Even in the scripture it says, study and show thyself approved. Many of these people just get on panels and just wing it and just spout out all this silly garbage. They don't do any research. They're not, well informed, well reasoned. When I was in college, I was an English major, and we did a research paper. You had to come up with your thesis, and you had to have body of evidence, body of research to back up your contention. But you had to come up your. Now sometimes the professors will give you a thesis to work with, but I like to come up with my own thesis. I used to like to look at things from different angles and posit things from a different angle and then back up what I was saying from a research perspective from the things that I found doing my research. Many of these people don't do that. They're lazy. They're intellectually lazy. They don't put the work in terms of finding the information. Mind you, we literally have smartphones. Um, we have smartphones, but a lot of dumb people who are too lazy to crack open a phone. You can get paper databases out here, and look up all types of information so you can be in the know. But a lot of times, man, people are not. They're not. Their goal is not to solve any problems. If anything, their goal is to keep the problems going, because as long as they can keep the problems going, which is one of the things that Booker T. Washington said when he said about the black people, like your sharpness and people like that, who like to keep the grievances of black people before the public because it keeps them paid, it keeps them with a job, and it's no different now. It's just that people are using different mediums to keep it going, and social media is a very potent tool to keep people triggered, because of the way it works, the algorithms. The more content you watch that's triggering is going to bring more content to you that's triggering, and then people are just going to get lost in a world, while people who are who lack talent, they're going to get paid off the grift, while the masses of people are not going to even get better. Matter of fact, they're actually going to get worse. And that's what we're seeing.
It's even bigger. I was on I was listening to because I don't care. I was cold. I was on listening to Jason Black's channel. And they're talking about this FBA and foundational black and this and what you got to go with this and we're gonna get reparations or blah, blah. So they're talking all this FBA stuff and reparations and all that. And we had just in Saturday and Sunday. I think we registered maybe about 700. It's close with. I think we registered about almost 1,000 people over the weekend in 4 different cities here in Westchester. But anyway, we're trying to get up to 10,000 at least by October the 15th for the November 5th election time. But anyway, I'm sitting here listening to these guys talking. Basically, in my view, talking crazy. Because my view is okay. Whatever you say that you want, and you say all of this stuff, and you got 5 or 6, 3 or 4,000, how many people you may have in the chat room. Where is your ground game? Where are you going to be moving to get people into actually making this happen for you? Okay, because the currency of power in here is votes and money. So how are you going to really move this system to work the way you want to work? You're just gonna come here and say, "Well, we're gonna demand it. We're gonna come out here. What are you gonna do? Pull out guns and run up on the Capitol? You think that's how that's gonna work for you? Or what's your process for making this really happen?" And I kept asking that question in the chat room, and I wasn't trying to be at all inflammatory or anything. I was just coming at them with cold hard facts. I just came out of the field. So I'm sitting here trying to say, well, this is how we're looking to do certain things, and this is how we're going to get certain things done. What is your ground game? What's your ground game? None. There is no ground game. There is nothing. Just a bunch of guys on YouTube talking and trying to hit the chat. Hit the super chats and
hit the super chat, hit the cash app.
FB1 and B1 and B. And I'm sitting there listening to all this, and it's like, all right, all that sounds good. You've got 3,000 people in the chat room. If you had 3,000 people like this out in the streets, moving people forward, registering them, getting them involved in the FBA party and so forth around your state, moving around the country, 6 months time, everybody on earth would be shaking from you because you'd have hundreds of thousands to damn near millions of people registered. Now you would have a tremendous political hand in the game, and now people are going to listen to you. Now, but you're on YouTube talking, doesn't mean anything. None of that means anything.
Don't mean shit.
It's talk. It means nothing. When we here at the Brain Trust, we're talking about not only just talking about getting your certifications, showing how people to get certifications. Your man MOT would come on and show people what they needed to know about getting into trucking and so forth. We were talking.
Salute to MOT. He was here earlier before you pulled up.
Yeah, okay. So we're here showing you where you can go to get things done and showing you how you can get it. All right, and talking about tech and where to go, being very realistic about it. These are boots on the ground types of things that we know you can achieve. But I'm not into these guys walking around here talking crazy, but cannot achieve anything. They're just talking. All right. You want to talk about getting reparations and all of this. What is your ground game to do it? How many people can you put in the ballot box to make that happen? All right. Japanese, Komatsu versus the United States, they lobbied hard. Japanese people lobbied hard and moved hard to get that legislation moved for them to get uh, their reparations. They pushed for that. They just wasn't given to them. They pushed
What about
very hard. They had a lot of
what
power.
about over in
Okay.
Evanston, Illinois, right? Where black folks were given reparations, right? And those reparations are coming vis-a-vis cannabis taxes. Now,
Well,
who was it that put that out here? That would be a way for reparations. I believe that was the Brain
we
Trust.
talked about that very early on. So
I was
so
gonna say, I
these
believe
are
that was us because we talked about it before that happened in
no that
Evanston.
it was here in Brain Trust. We talked about that very early on. We had the proper ideas, but how are people going to go about to achieve these objectives? And that's really what I'm more concerned about. The manosphere, to a large extent, it may seem a little off topic, but I don't believe that it is. The manosphere
Mhm.
was created really to address issues
Oh shit! Hey, Nagone, did you cut out there? Ryo, did he cut out?
Yeah, I
Or
could
was
have
that
some
me?
somebody could call it.
Okay, all right, okay,
Yeah, I'm
okay.
on. Can you hear me?
Yeah, okay, you got it.
Yeah,
You
you
got it. I
say
can
what
hear
you
you.
was about to say when you said the
Yeah, yeah. Go
master.
ahead. You got it.
Yeah, we got the, it was created so, this was a forum where black men, especially, could really address our issues, set the record straight, talk about exactly what our real concerns were, and really talk truth about who we are. And it was a counterweight against a lot of the negative press and so forth that really came out there and was hammering us for years. Oprah and all them for years out there talking crazy. But then when we started to set the record straight, we saw how that worked, especially with the women. But but that aspect of what the manosphere was about has morphed into something else. Where now all of a sudden you have a lot of other crazy kind of going on, and I know the money has come in and made a big difference. So that's why I think things have just kind of rolled off into some really crazy areas. But I look at this. I look at overall at the manosphere as a way for brothers to come here and kind of get our minds right, if you will. Like I always said, get your mind right
Get your
so we
mind
can think
right.
straight.
Get your body right.
Get,
Wait, wait, wait,
but
wait, wait, wait.
primarily
I
the
need you to
mind is
do it. I
everything.
need you to do it, man.
So
I need you
let's
to do it.
so let's think. Go ahead,
Okay.
man. Go. No, go
No,
ahead.
I was gonna say the mantra. I need you to do it because you said we got to get our minds right.
You got to
Got to
get your
get your.
mind right. You got to
Uh
get your money right. You got to get your body right.
huh.
Keep your
Oh
overhead
shit! When was the
low and
last
your
time
savings
y'all heard
high.
that?
Man, it's been so long since I heard this.
Wow.
That shit take me back, man.
Leave that succubus far behind. So
Woo.
don't leave anything out here bringing you down. Keep your dough right. Live a minimalist lifestyle. Keep your dough moving properly. Get
Man,
all your proper game correct, and you'll make a few mistakes. But
keep
a lot
your
of people, I guess,
overhead
kind of
low and your profits high.
If it's high, your profits high.
God damn it.
And
For those
it's
of
pretty
y'all
true, right?
who
It's pretty
know what
true.
time it is with this brother right here, you know what that was about right there.
Yep.
If you know, you
That
know, god damn it.
That go back
that's
to
the
the
bottom
old
line.
man,
That's where we are.
the old man days.
Look at Johnny Blaze. Look at Johnny Blaze in the chat. I use your mantra with my students all the time. See there?
Oh yeah, man. Yeah, That
See there?
we were kind of rolling. I guess when Obsidian and all those guys were, we kind of had the manosphere really rocking at that stage. It didn't go off the rails the way those guys went off the rails after a while. But we were trying to keep the minds right. And I think that's what
Well,
brain trust is about. So this
well,
African dude talking crazy, I wouldn't waste time with him.
No,
He sounded like he was
look,
talking crazy. I don't know what that's all about.
no, you know how it is. Like I said, man, sometimes brain trust got a body, niggas. Sometimes it's not often. We don't do this often.
and this is not even about
It's
having beef. This is not even about having beef, man, or beef with anybody.
Nah, hell
You know,
no.
we don't even roll like that, man. This is about just setting
Nah.
things straight, like calling things out for what it is, like being in these spaces, man. Like I'm 43, I expect adult males to move like men. You know what I'm saying? Like, and we get it. We understand the nature of this beast. We understand so many, males have been deprived of proper masculine training. We get that, but that's what these spaces are for. When you find yourself in spaces with masculinity, it behooves you to move on that code like that, to learn. It doesn't make you less. It does not make any black man any less of a man to learn from a more capable black man. Does not make you less of a man. It is okay to learn from a black man that's more knowledgeable than you.
Ados or otherwise.
Because that black man had to learn from somebody else too. So it does not make apprenticeship is truly the way of life. You really are not going to understand how to move in life unless you get the proper apprenticeship. That's the name of the game. And so there's nothing to feel bad about when you have to learn from another man, if you're a black man, specifically a black man. It is not, it's not an affront to your manhood. It's somebody who is trying to help you reinforce your manhood. So, when these cats do all these little underhanded tactics, man, hating on, more supreme content, blocking people from growing because they don't like you because you're right.
They don't like you though.
They don't like you because you're right, not because you wrong or what you're saying is wrong. They're mad and upset because they can't defeat your argument. Well, if you can't defeat the argument, then you lost. That's what it is.
Hey, listen. He said if you got an opposing viewpoint, come on up, nigga. I pull it up. Why are you dropping niggas?
Hey, I had a certain viewpoint of the continent. Me and Mike B had a back and forth. I thought I knew some stuff I didn't know. He schooled me as he should have.
Yeah.
Because it helped me grow as a man. So I had to come back and say, you know what? Hey, Mike, you right. Shit. Hey, you got it. Why?
The gun was in the middle of it between me and Mike.
You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? But that's a good thing when you have somebody, when you're in the space of men that can teach you some shit. Because we got to keep growing and keep learning. Because learning is a lifelong endeavor. So if we in a space where we got other brothers that can teach us, we in a great space. If we got that, like we got that, we in a great place. So I said, hey man, hey Mike, you was right on that. I was like, cool.
Yeah, that's why we touched on the whole black brain trust in Africa. How do y'all think that came about? How you think it happened? We matured out of whatever disagreements and how we saw things differently to align with how we see the future.
Right.
Next thing you know, we there.
Right. I mean, how can I sit there on some ego trip and stuff and be like, nah, man, I want to win the argument more than I want to accept the right information. That's gonna help me. Like that don't even make any sense. Like
It just don't make no goddamn.
I'm gonna ruin my opportunity because my ego won't accept the fact that this man is right. He knows on this particular issue, he knows more about it than I do. He's giving me some great information that can help me expand. But because I'm on some ego trip type stuff, I'm gonna be like, nah, man, forget you, man.
No, fuck that.
I'm gonna just fight you. Like,
No, hell no. Fuck
I
that.
ain't do this silly crap. I'm a grown man. Like, I'm wrong. I'm gonna own it. You know what I'm saying? So
That's what I'm saying, dude. Like I said, man. Look, I'm humble enough to claim the L's I done took in this bitch, and it's only been one of them. and it's to another founder of the Brain Trust, right? So I would say I'm in good company, man, with my L. I don't give a fuck, right? But
Absolutely.
there's also right the mo, the modus operandi. What we here for? Why are we doing what we do? Right? We take this Afro-futuristic shit seriously, like dead ass. We take it seriously, and I showed y'all towards the beginning of the live stream here when I said, okay, we're gonna dig through our catalog. I need this to be on the record, dude. Proof, right? And then the nigga that sat up here and tried to hold down a conversation about it, I needed to look at what he was about because this is the nigga that booted me off. And I said, well, let me see what you built like real quick. Went over there and was like, whoa, you wasn't even qualified to even be having this convo, fam. Lapeef, come get your peoples. Come get your folks. Dead ass. Because you trotting bait out here for big sharks. Right? Big sharks out here, and you throwing this little bait out here. Don't do that. Because I'm gonna feel sorry for old boy if we gotta bite him in half. Well, we kind of did already.
And it's only to
That
help
kind of
him
already
too.
happened. Yeah.
This ain't even about trying to tear somebody down. Like in a way it is, but it's to help them grow too. This ain't about like I said before, man. We ain't here for the beef stuff.
Well,
We
look, but
don't
I'll
do
tell you
that.
right now, we'll smack back.
But we will hit back.
Yeah,
But
don't get it fucked up.
yeah, but as far as the beef stuff, like man, that's for little boys, man. Like
Yeah.
I'm a grown man, and I can sit here and make a sound argument. If I don't have a sound argument to refute what another man said, I need to shut up because I don't know what I'm talking about. I don't have it.
Hey man,
But
look, and if you got a sound argument, man, what you don't do is drop a motherfucker in the middle of him making his argument.
right, right, yeah, a lot of dudes just really need to. I said this to you earlier, man. There's a lot of dudes, man, especially if you want to be successful in business. You need to take some personal etiquette classes and you need to take some business etiquette classes. You don't understand how important these types of things are. Kevin was one of those types of people that was trying to show dudes how important, how being polished, how you move when you come into a room, how you speak a certain way. You can't come into rooms just offending people and thinking you're going to get a positive result. Like you're just not going to do that. Now, for people who want to have channels where people get that off and people just want to, just have some circus atmosphere, hey man, that's on them. But us grown men, we're not here for that because we know that you don't have to show your ass out here to make a lot of money. There's some people who want to entertain and make a lot of money. Hey, that's their choice.
Yeah.
They're a small percentage. The people who are making the most money are not out here showing their ass. They're moving quietly. They're making deals behind scenes while everybody else is distracted being entertained. They getting them
Getting
multi-million
shit
dollar,
done.
$1 billion checks.
Yeah, we're getting shit done, man.
So
And don't invite the conversation if because that's some bitch shit. That's the one last thing I wanna just call it out real quick, do before we shut it down. That's some bitch shit right there. Don't call don't call motherfuckers out thinking that you is in a superior position, and then when a nigga superior to you pulls up, you drop him. That's some bitch shit. Take your ass whooping like a man, chaotic falsehood. That's what we're gonna call him, because that they ain't nothing true. Ain't nothing true about him right about now, right? Take your ass whooping like a man, bro. Like that's how you get your thick skin in real life. Take your lumps, G. Take your lumps. If you put the call out, somebody pull up, and he putting them 1-2s on you, right? You ain't got nothing for it. Take them, eat them, right? Maybe next time you'll think a little bit wiser. But low key or high key, we feel as though is that you kind of got the Afro-Futurism stilo from us any goddamn way. See, so this was all warranted in our view. Bro, you got anything to put on it, man, before we shut it down? Because I'm probably gonna try to come back live again tonight, man. Oh wait, Riley, he muted up still. Okay, I'm gonna let him come back here before we shut it down. But no, real shit. It's on the. Wait, there you go.
Yeah.
There you go. Hey man, you got any last words before we shut it down?
No, man, just it's stuff like this that just makes us realize, how more strategic we need to move, how on point we need to be. You know, uh, we have enemies out here who look like us, and it just behooves us to make sure we identify them so we can neutralize them so they don't affect what we're trying to do, because we are in a position to make some good positive have some good positive effects in places that we would have never dreamed of when we were younger. So, but I love this channel. Salute to the brothers who came together to formulate this Black think tank. And
Absolutely.
it's an honor and a privilege to be connected with it. And I'm always do my part to defend it when people step out of line and disrespect it. I'm gonna throw hands like everybody else over here.
Straight up. You already know I'm about that action, and it's like I'm one who's really about, like, right, using the noggin. Wait, hold up. Hey, real quick, Yoga me pulled up. Yoga me.
Hello, can you hear me?
Hey, brother, welcome, man. How you doing, man? I'm glad you can pull up.
Yeah, I was a little busy, so I was.
You kind of
have an echo.
echo.
Wait a second. I'm trying to come. Just a second.
Okay. I'm glad Yoga actually pulled up. Bad.
One. Is it better now?
Okay, wait. Johnny Blaze said bad echoing. Is that me or is it?
Wait a second. I'm trying to come.
No, I can hear you just fine. Johnny Blaze in the chat said bad echoing. I'm not sure who.
Maybe I fix it. Can someone tell if the echo has been correct?
I can hear you. You sound good.
I'm gonna leave and then come back. Just a second.
Okay. All right. No problem. All right. Gyogami's gonna come back in. The new person. Okay, that was Gyogami. Okay, so he's gonna hit the link and come back in. I would actually like to get his take. As a brother from the continent, actually. I'm really interested to hear what he's got to say. So we'll wait here for Gyogami to join us. Hopefully you guys are having a good Tuesday evening. Okay, Gyogami's back.
Test 1 2 1 2. Do you hear me?
You sound good, man. You sound good.
Okay. So I went back and listened to the beginning of the stream with Chaos Truth.
Yeah.
And observed that I mentioned this with one step at a time. He did some jobs at the Edos community and then tried to underplay the work which has been done, especially when he starts saying that the Edos did not build for the American communities, which was historically inaccurate. Actually, one of the main reasons, and I said it to Rael on other platforms, why I tried to join the Manosphere and the Black Brain Trust is because of the necessity of the discussions you were applying, and that I noticed that among the Black communities, it is in the Edos that you will find the highest concentrations within Black peoples of people in the STEM fields with people with proper expertise. And that if we had to do business with different people in the world, it would be with the Black people in the diaspora, especially the ones in the United States. So the attacks that Chaos Truth was producing would be not only historically inaccurate, it would be seriously nefarious for proper international relationships that could be happening between the continents and the countries like the United States. When I mean the United States, I mean the Black people of the United States and those for Brazil, for example. Especially if we want to become a more competitive people worldwide in the face of the rise of entities like China's, and considering the decline of the West when they are trying to encroach upon the continent to sustain the fleeting hegemony. So to build up a clash between the FBA and the Continental would be we'll be shooting ourselves in the foot, I would say, when it comes to the black race for the future. And he was talking about Afro-Futurism, but if we do not build a proper community, which is also rooted in the different technologies and sciences of the futures and the proper social construct that we could have, we're essentially destroying the project before it even begins.
It even gets off the ground, man. Right. By trying to fantasize it. And and I think he even mentioned about, well, if black men did this with their daughters, and because he was referencing a character from Star Trek or something. And I was like, yeah, dude, I have a daughter, right? I'm a single father, and like she knows how to take various Allen wrenches and all that kind of stuff, and take her scooter apart, fix the brake, for example, right? Electric scooter and stuff. And I was just kind of like, I don't think an Afro-futuristic thought or a mindset includes notions or concepts like ADOS, FBA, any divisive, right, concept with regards to, say, brothers of the diaspora. I would say that we're all technocrats from, and then name your place of origin, right? But what we have is a singular and similar mindset and thought, and this is the reason why we all band together and do what we do from a globalist perspective. That's true Afrofuturism, because in my head, until this new technological age where we have applications that can go on your phone like WhatsApp, that can let you call wherever, contact suppliers, various countries, do business and all that, right? Then plug your business network in. When has that time ever happened when we could use and leverage technology vis-a-vis our smartphones to do this type of shit? When name a prior time, right, prior to now, when that existed.
That is often something that is missing within a conversation between black people and so-called Pan-Africanists. They refrain from dealing within the material and technological aspects of it. I remember when I was in university, we were discussing plans for the continent and the diaspora. And I remember there was one friend who was first in law school and then transitioned when he started reading about Cheikh Anta Diop. And so he said, we need more scientists. And therefore he switched from law school from the first semesters and then went into biochemistry and then the medical field. He was one of the people that said, see, this is what a proper pro-black, pro-Pan-African is supposed to do. You see what you are missing, you read the documentation, because Cheikh Anta Diop was a scientist, and he not only had planned for history, from a historical standpoint, he also planned for the whole industrialization of the continent. But a lot of people among the black communities neglect the scientific and technological and economical aspects that is necessary for a proper renaissance of the continent. They have dreams, they do not have a method. They have aspirations, they say, but they do not see the proper, the epistemology that would lead you towards the concretization of your said aspirations. They do not know how to organize the societies towards a STEM field mindset, nor toward the proper rhythm, the mechanisms of economics, of monetary systems. And that's why not enough black people, unlike the people of the Black Brain Trust, deal in the blockchains and cryptocurrencies and so forth. Shout out to all of them all. We need to master those fields if we want to move into the future. The different pillars of the fourth industrial revolution, namely the cybertech, biotech, neuro and cognitive science, as well as nanotechnologies. They need to know about those fields if they want to become competitive for the 22nd century. You cannot only dream and do not put the work within it.
Thank you.
Which is something that is lacking among us.
And that's why the denigration of somebody like Booker T. Washington is such sacrilege because you're talking about somebody who post his slave experience. He went to, I think it was Hampton, and he studied their model, I think, for 7 years. He wanted to understand how they built it. So when it came to building Tuskegee, he could do it. And again, when you start talking about what kind of school he built a trade school. You're talking about the trades are all about bringing a solution. It's not like regular like college where you have a lot of stuff that's tend to be centered around problems all the time. He built a school that was about solving problems. That is very evolutionary at that particular time. He knew exactly what black men needed, moving from the agrarian based economy that was prevalent at that time throughout the world to a more industrial based. That's what he was all about. That's what the National Negro Business League was all about. He didn't want to talk politics. It wasn't like he wasn't interested, but when it came to that organization, he was very adamant about making sure black men stayed on the topic of business because he knew how politics could get black men and just people in general all distracted with infighting, and he didn't want that. So when you talk about somebody like that coming from his experience, coming from the slave plantation to the point that he was making moves, deals with the German government, trying to bring cotton, growing enterprises in Togo. You're talking about somebody who was all about the future, but the future of black men getting a hold into something.
Nigga, Afro-Futurism before Star Trek. Stupid.
Come on, man. And see, this
Fucking
is
dummy.
why when you know this history, you understand like we had a relationship that goes a long way that has already been shown that it can happen and it can work from somebody like him a long time ago. So this notion of fighting on from different sides of the world is just silly because we've already had somebody who was instrumental in doing it, who did it. So it's already been done. I said this before on another stream. Like we act like we haven't been here before. We've already had somebody who showed us the blueprint.
No, we done had a few
If the white man,
resets. We done
hold
had
on,
a few resets in that bitch. That's the
right,
problem.
right. If the white man can take his blueprint and use it for the national business model of the government, if they can take his model, then that shit must be really good.
Yeah, I was about to say it's good enough for you, fam. I mean,
It's
come on.
good. If it's good enough for that white man at that time, it's good enough for you as a black man. So
Your
what
whole
we
U.S.
have,
Chamber of Commerce
yes,
was based on his shit.
yes.
Ah, damn.
So what we have had in Black America is too many scholars. I said this even when I was on the pro-black stuff. I said we have too many scholars and not enough builders. That's the problem.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
That's the problem right there. We got too many people who pontificate and want to theorize and be theoretical, and not enough people who want to do things that revolve around proper application to bring about solutions to problems. That's the issue. And once we get from out of that, I'm not saying we don't have a place for people who are theoretical. There's a space for that. But everything can't be theoretical. You're gonna have to get into the game. That's what this channel has been all about, showing black men how to get into the game. That's what it's all about. Because this is our purview as men. We have to show men, whether they're older than us, the same age, younger, we have to help them be better, especially the younger ones, because once we're gone, they're gonna have to take up the mantle. They're gonna have to take it in the direction they need to go to. So they can't do it if they don't have the knowledge, and that's why this channel is so important, and that's why I defend it as vociferously as I do.
And let me just say this. I'm gonna say this, and then I want to get Gilgami's last thoughts here before we close out because I gotta start getting dinner together here for my little one. that in the post that I put up on the community tab earlier today, where it was called "Dating, Mating, and Afro-Futurism," that largely centered on who are who makes up the people of the future that are actually going to do what we're talking about. That's literally what that live stream is about. So for anybody who's listening, if you go to the Black Brain Trust channel, go to the community tab, and then go check like maybe one or two posts down, and it's kind of the one where I address Lapeef and Chaotic, right? But in that one, it's called Dating, Mating, and Afrofuturism. And so what we did was we pulled up Afrofuturistic artwork and images and stuff, and we looked at it. We did a deep dive. We kind of like did some art interpretation in real time, and we looked at this art and we said, well, wow, like who were the people that ultimately created that person right there? And see, Chaotic Truth ain't really ready for that kind of conversation. He's not built for that because he doesn't do anything that's future centric outside of be a social media commentator or a content creator, as they call it, right? No actual hands-on in anything, right? So what we just wanted to make sure to do here was to put on notice that there are actual real, true, and living Afrofuturists here on YouTube. And it's not just us. Like there's others that are like so not like manosphere quote unquote centric or whatever that I'm sub to. A lot of dudes, even chicks, do a lot of dope, cool, interesting, unique shit, right? And have very unique thoughts about life and where they see things going. We, however, are kind of an anomaly in this whole sort of black manosphere space, as we're sort of like a collective of people that coalesced around this idea of Afro. But what we did was we applied practical application to that notion or that concept of Afrofuturism. So what we found here is that we've created a very realistic framework, right? And a lot of it involves very real things that we all do on a day-to-day basis in our real lives. So that's what kind of makes it easier for us to give this a real true framework and to dig into these topics and subject matters the way we do it. Gyogami, you got anything, brother?
Yes, so as to conclude, 2 points, one to Rael, another one to Complex Design. It's funny that Rael was mentioning that people were denigrating Booker T. Washington, because with my colleagues and I, one of the models we were planning to use precisely with the African communities on the continent, with the education of children and of the general populace, was precisely the model that Booker T. Washington was using precisely to develop an education system based on the different STEMs and the trades that would be useful for the future, while at the same time incorporating a proper traditional, a new model of social and traditional systems of initiations so as to prevent the downfalls of industrialization on social contracts. To go to Complex Design and go for the Black Brain Trust, I would say that when Rael mentioned your channel for the first time, I said this is actually what I was considering to do, at least here in Canada with the diaspora, because the Black Brain Trust is actually essentially a combination of a think tank and also a relay system to inform the Black communities of what should be the objectives socially, economically, and politically concerning the technologies of the future. Because too often we are we are reacting too late instead of being at the forefront and having an ear within the industry. The Black Brain Trust acts as an ear into the industry while telling the people of our community where we are supposed to go towards to anticipate on the different changes on the geostrategic level globally. So that's one the reason we say that you should be grateful for the DOS people and the interconnections that we can have. Oh, and the third final point. I have to find the document, but there was a document of Jimmy Carter during his presidency when he was mentioning that following Nixon's, that the movement of civil rights and the movement of independence on the continent should be considered to be joint systems. That the intelligence of the United States was saying that it should be impossible that the revolutions occurring in the American societies with Black people and the ones on the continent could actually not be related. So they were saying that they had to make sure that the connections between the continent and its diaspora should be cut off as much as possible, because, as Jimmy Carter was saying, if we do not prevent the Black people from unifying, they will rise again. The words Jimmy Carter used was, they will rise and rule again. So if you know that your opponent is trying to downplay yourself by breeding division, what you should do is to build up unity precisely with those form of political and economical bonds that you should put.
Gyogami, do you see this flow chart right here on the screen?
I'm seeing it. Oh, I'm gonna switch the screen.
Okay. Let me know if you see that.
Yes.
Okay, this is something that was created. We created this 3.5 years ago.
Yeah. That's exactly what we were discussing with our group. Yes, because we were planning to when it comes to the education of our people, to use them to spread them when it comes to education to different countries, where they could be able to grab the expertise and then come back to the different point of the diaspora, and then form a triangular systems of exchange of knowledge and expertise, and even using the That
is exactly what this speaks to. Okay, this is something that when we did our first year anniversary live stream, right? We wanted to kind of come with a consortium concept, and this is why these have always been reoccurring themes. Because the first thing that we did was we kind of broke down, right? We're a consortium group, right? We are, let's just say. So we're global in objective, but agnostic largely in our let's just say regional origin, right? Because we are all regional, we're all part of this, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's global. However, we break those down, right? International and domestic, right? So we have the Americas, territories, and islands. Over here, Europe, Africa, and Arab states, and Asia, Eurasia, right? And what you're talking about there is what we've largely broke down, looking at what are the key areas that, based on points on the globe and on the map, what we're trying to do. That's what this is right here. Now, from this came the companies that sprung out of that. So after this happened, that's when the tech conferences in Africa happened, right? Apps, few logistics apps were created, right? Secured the factory in China. We're creating hardware. There's a whole lot of moving parts to all this. And see, to me, this is Afro-Futurism in real time. So, listen, I would say that you're in good company. Wait, we've got, wait a minute. Engineering Cannabis.
Hey,
brother.
How's it going?
I was hoping you could. I asked you earlier in the live stream if you could join us.
I'm coming. I just decided again. I was busy trying. I was just studying some stuff. But
I need you. I need you of all people.
I was still arguing.
I need you of all people, man, to really. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Are we still arguing about this?
It wasn't necessarily an argument. It was something that happened.
Still talking. The world is moving too fast, and it's getting stupid out here to be. I mean, you really haven't. I'm just one example. Recently, I was working with the financial industry dealing with the credit system. Do you know they're changing the credit system right now? The algorithms that govern the credit system, the whole credit algorithm, where you utilize what you're doing, is not going to change, and it's going to be changing to deal with how people's dynamic life is. So how do you grow? So if you have a criminal record and all that, that can be factored into your credit system.
Jesus Christ! So with the new credit systems
the new algorithms
within this, it's gonna take all this shit into consideration.
It's basically gonna follow your dynamic life, what's going on in your lifestyle. So it's gonna be more in depth. So it's now more of a risk. You are now more of a risk situation. This is just one part of it. There are lots that's going on in the healthcare system. Just this is what we're focusing on.
Yeah.
they're making algorithms now for healthcare system to judge how the risk of you getting a procedure. What is the risk of an individual like you getting procedure based on your records, your historical records, and that could be including where you live, your occupation, all this. And we are still talking about ADOS versus Africa.
ADOS and who did what and slavery this and
The world
bro,
is
it is
moving
stupid.
way too fast. I mean, even in the cannabis industry, I'm seeing stuff like what's going, and I'm trying to
Man, and
keep
I'm
up.
I'm so behind on that by the way, man. I
In
gotta
the,
admit. We
in the
gotta do
cannabis
something soon.
in the cannabis industry, I was working with a company trying to develop a system to automate their whole growing facility, and we are here still arguing about stuff that really people are making money, wealth, even utilizing the YouTube itself. Utilizing YouTube are making so much money, and we are still arguing about ADOS and Africa. In reality, when you apart from YouTube, nobody gives about all this.
They really
Real
don't, man. It is
nobody
literally no one
cares.
cares. It's legit a clout chase, right? So
It's a
my
talking point in the YouTube now. It's
it's
like
not even a talking point because like what can you do with it outside of talking about it?
again, I've gotten so tired of the manosphere, all this. I don't even come to it. I don't care anymore. I'm like, this what's going on? Do you really know what's really going on? I mean, right now we have so much homelessness going on in the black community based on home housing, based on the interest rate going so much up. They've eliminated half, almost half or nearly more than half of African Americans can't afford a home because of the high interest rate
Right.
and high cost of homes. And we are still arguing about this.
Like just
There's a
stupid
lot
shit,
of
man.
problems going on that I really don't care about all these talking points. It's like now an antidote. It's a joke because what's going on here? The evolution of technology really impacting us. It's everywhere. Not even jobs, but it's getting stupid. But we are we really still going to be focusing on this topic when other communities are focusing on topics? Okay, real estate, businesses, from micro transportation to tech to healthcare to real impactful stuff, and
Yeah,
yet
supply chain and logistics, all that shit.
logistics right now is making
Yep.
huge money.
That's why I've been so centric on it, man, that the live streams are kind of been a little errant because there's so much going on in this space and there's
I mean,
we've gotten integration done
well,
on various platforms to do everything from food delivery to Amazon. So it's like, man, dude,
even in the
everything we've been talking about it's coming to fruition.
even in the music industry, I'm seeing people now arguing about AI and content creation in the music industry. I mean, there's a lot that's happening, and I'm trying to keep my abreast of not only the knowledge on the business side, but even with the Roe versus Wade, I'm seeing business opportunities. I'm like, oh, snap! There's money in this. There's money in that. There's a lot of, but we're still focusing on the small stuff. And really, this is the small stuff. Because unless you're coming out in the real world and saying this FBA, ADOS, and African Americans and Africans are really going to make you money outside of the real world, I'm not seeing it.
No, we're
But
gonna have to get it as a collective globally.
also, if you still argue, and I'm like, look, that's fine. Everybody, you can do all that. But look, the real world now is money. Gas prices as high as hell.
I'm in California. Don't tell me about it.
Gas prices as high as hell.
You just told me about it.
I, it's killing, man. There are people who rather are choosing. Do I need to? How do I get to work today? and I'm getting paid minimum wage,
Bro, that is a real thing.
and
People are literally like,
my
I
money
gotta
for
weigh whether I should go to work or not.
my money for the day, for the whole day, is the same amount of money that I'm going to use to transport myself to work.
What am I doing?
This is the real situations, and yet this is what look. There
Wouldn't
are a
you
lot
say
of.
the future is like small electric vehicles that don't cost you shit that'll take you like
I
20
mean,
plus miles?
the future people are thinking. Okay, for instance, with huge gas prices, people. I started looking at okay, what investments are there? Like in what investments am I gonna use to make more money in terms of with huge gas prices? Or where am I going? What's the next technology? What can I invest?
But it's going to affect where people live too, because if you can live in a place where you're not really required to be that mobile in
You know,
terms of using energy, a lot that's going to influence a lot where people live. A lot of these major cities are creating environments like that for tech centric type people. You see a lot of that
Yep.
development in Atlanta, where people can have fun, shop,
They call
go
it
to basic things
multi-use.
like
They
grocery
call it
stores. I mean, you're
they call
seeing
it
develop.
multi-use.
Hold on,
Those
you're seeing development where they'll build a new apartment building, apartment building, and then they'll put a Whole Foods at the bottom.
at the bottom. That's what I'm saying. That's a multi that, like, dude, they did that. They started getting that shit popping off in
see,
California back in the 2010s.
Right.
so this is what.
Those multi-use developments,
Multi,
like
yeah,
you said,
exactly.
they got the retail spots on the bottom, right? They got and it's all the dope ones, right?
Yep,
And
exactly.
then they put like townhouses or condos and shit on top.
So
Right.
this is what affecting us. This is what's directly affecting us. But again, are we going to continuously focus on the BS and distract everybody and like, okay, you can laugh while the landlord is kicking you out of your apartment. You can laugh while the gas prices is hiking up. You can laugh and enjoy it. But again, at what cost? We
Look,
are really
look.
we're
I live
focusing
in
off the ball right now.
I,
It's
I,
getting
predom-
serious.
I live in a predominantly white neighborhood, and I'm seeing white people not be able to afford to live here.
So it's getting bad.
I mean, it's affecting white people. I mean, because I'm in Texas, and the market has really been hot. It's
Everybody leaving
you know
California.
what I'm saying. So many people, man, from Cali, man, coming here, man. So it's
Yep.
like, yo, space is getting tight. So these landlords, they know they can kind of go up
Yeah.
on that
Oh,
asking point.
rents are hitting everybody over the
Woo,
head.
man,
I'm seeing rents like 2, 3, 3, 5. I'm like, dude, what's going
yeah,
on? And again, we can't afford rents, we can't afford fuel, we can't afford feeding. So now, and is this the time, or should we be focusing again? Should we be focusing on that part? Okay, what industries are still making money? What industries do you need to jump in to still get an opportunity to even open a business, open a open something to help you fight off inflation, fight off all these stuff. This is what we
Right.
need to be talking about. Not this. This isn't helping anybody. This isn't doing anything but feeding frenzy and feeding.
It's
Okay,
it's what it was, bro. It was just that I don't really think he had much depth for a conversation about what true Afrofuturism is. He didn't. There was no meat, no potatoes. It was just bunch of bone broth, basically.
yeah, there might not be, but again, do we need to? Again, the Black Brain Trust has always been focused on again the future. It's been focused on giving real life information, real time information, giving what's going to affect everybody, and it's affecting right now. Even with the universal basic income, that's coming. That's going to be That's going to be something that's going to be really going to come true in the next couple of years. Because again, with all this going on, people are suffering.
It's gonna be
Are
a lot
really
of subsidized. Yeah, it's gonna be a lot
like,
of.
oh, so this is the Black Brain Trust has always been focused on solutions. Again, go into tech, go into business, farming, even farming right now.
Hmm.
It's a huge money maker. Huge people are buying plots of land just to grow basically fresh fruits and vegetables. Farming, vertical farming, is a huge money maker. Knowing how to, people are making money from knowing how to create natural pesticides, knowing how to grow good foods in small spaces. These are making people money.
Well, I was gonna say we're looking at like the microtization,
Right.
right,
Of
of
every,
the produce economy, right, where we're gonna start to now look at, like you said, vertical farming solutions. Do we cover this in the guerrilla farming live
we
stream?
covered
Hey, hey, what was that?
so it's big, but we are still we're not playing the long game. We're still playing the
No,
short
no,
game.
no, not at all. Right. But
And
that was what that guerrilla farming live stream was
yeah,
about, was to illustrate that, like, listen, not everything has to be imported in from Argentina in terms
yeah,
of like your produce, or from some mega big farm, upstate. It could literally be grown in a brick building, right? That looks nondescript from the outside, but once you go inside, bro, you've seen those indoor farming
Elon,
operations,
Elon Musk, his brother is doing that. That is his bread and butter, and he's making millions in there
right?
running. uh, Basically, so why are we so focused on what isn't going to generate real substantial influence in not only wealth but policy and everything? Again, don't get me wrong. The AD or SMP, that's fine, but we need to focus on
You
real
already know, man. We're technocrats and globalists. I don't ascribe to all that. I mean, if you want to use it as a cultural concept,
talking
and
point. That's fine. I'm
yeah, I
good.
was gonna say, and if you want to, if by definition, I guess I would apply to it, but don't ask me to identify as that. I'll tell you, I'm a technocrat.
I'll say, look, I'm the guy who says, look, let's look at what's really being impactful right now in our day-to-day lives, and that is what we need to tackle. Not this. This should be something on the side. This should be even not even on the side. This should be something that just it's a footnote.
Hmm.
What needs to be tackled right now is what's going on, and it's ever increasing. It's again, inflation is 8.6%. Nobody's talking. I mean,
Don't get me started on gas prices in
guys,
California.
8.6%, and we are still playing. I mean, the housing. I've been looking for a 300K house to invest in. I'm not seeing a 300K house anymore in major cities.
Man, all I'll say is this: I am aiming to try and buy something as soon as I can. Right? I want to buy something as soon as I can because I need to try to lock something in. Got a contract with the city on some stuff. I really want to try to establish some roots. This is kind of the time to do it, even though this is a weird time to be doing shit, right? But just like you were saying, man, like either you're either gonna get informed on what it is, right, that we should be doing now, right, to stave off things like inflation, the high gas costs. I offset using the vehicle by using electric bikes and electric scooters nowadays, right?
So,
It really
yeah,
does help
yeah,
on what I pay to put gas in the truck. I have a V6, so it's like if I'm now doing most of my like moving around on a scooter or an e-bike, dude, I'm saving on gas.
yeah. So it's again, we are we are not looking at what's going on really true. We're still focusing on again too many stuff going on from even the gun saying women and it's ridiculous out here. I just stopped. I stopped just coming. I realized the whole space.
It's yeah.
It's not a really a
They're
state.
not. They're not going to keep up the pace, bro. Let's just say that
No, it's not. It's
they're not going to. No.
everybody else is. I'm seeing everybody moving in a way. I go to rooms and I say, how is it? I'm in a room and 10% of this room, and then we're talking about ways to. I mean, technologies are going to be 10, 20 years ahead. I'm in this room. I'm only seeing 5% of this room are black people. There's a problem.
Right.
I'm in a room with healthcare. The only 5% of it are black people. Talking about high tech stuff, dealing with healthcare, dealing with real impactful healthcare stuff that impacts not only you but your next generation. I'm just going to rooms talking about real estate, healthcare. I'm like, what's going on? And yet I come to YouTube and I'm thinking, okay, there must be somebody who's going to basically talk about how we can move quickly. And no, what garners more people is stupid stuff, and I'm happy. That's fine, but I already said, okay, I'm done. I don't even do cannabis anymore, and I do actually do it in my life, really. But I don't really come in YouTube and they talk about cannabis anymore because what's the point?
I mean, that's the reason why I kind of space out. Well, it's two things, right? Number one, I kind of space out the times when we do kind of like the heavier dialogue topics, because what I find is they'll number one, they'll rack up more views if I don't just do them regularly, right? If I do one and then we just just deep dive on it, it'll get like 800 views, 900 views,
Yeah,
whatever. Yeah, versus if we just do regular old stuff, now it's getting like 200 this and
but
that. That's the
the
first
funny
thing.
thing, nobody and the cannabis industry steadily go, especially during hard times like this. The cannabis industry grows more because people fall on vices, alcohol, cannabis, and all that. They make more money now.
I was gonna
What?
say, man, there, dude. I was down. I went down
They're
to.
racking cash right
I
now.
was in. I was, dude. I went down to the city, or I was in L.A. uh over the weekend, and man, some of the billboards that I saw,
They're
I said,
making
"This is like, man,
they're
this
making
takes."
money boatloads.
Yeah, I was like, man, these are big ass billboards right off the freeway. What's that company? Cookies. There's this other
I
one
mean,
called I'm trying to remember all these different companies, man. I was just like, whoa, it is a thing. Out here in the countries, not so much. You just go to your little dispensary, get your weed, or you grow your own, and then that's that, right? But down
I,
there, holy
yeah.
shit.
And if you notice, less and less, nobody's talking about state legislations on cannabis. It's talking less and less. Nobody's talking about the money being made. It's talking less and less
Less
because
and less. And because
yeah,
look, here's the thing, right? I don't think the Fed. And dude, you know what? We're gonna have to cut this short. I got to get dinner
yeah,
ready. I told my daughter about 30 minutes ago I was gonna do it, but you came up and I was like, oh shit, engineering cannabis.
yeah. I just wanted
So
just a quick show. Yeah,
okay,
just
wait. I think Yogami just said he had the bounce too because I saw Raul had
yeah.
the bounce. He said I'll jump back in the chat. I had to move. Okay, okay, cool. Yogami, I appreciate you for coming up, fam. Hey, anytime, man. Yogami, you're welcome to come on up. All right. Um, but no, man, it's I don't think the Fed is gonna move for the time being because of too much other
No,
shit. Not
it's not.
not for right now, right? See, so the states are literally just doing what they got to do, and that's why
And
that's
they're racking up cash.
yes,
And it's funny. I'm looking like, oh snap, okay.
yeah.
And I stopped coming. I had to pay attention to what's going out here and just leave everybody else.
Oh
And
shit, same here, bro. Same here.
it's not when everybody's really hip to what's going on. It's gonna be late, but hey, but that's what's going on. And hey, I said I need to hop on real quick and just
All right.
say,
I was hoping you would, man, because I think another point that I really wanted to drive home was like that whole sort of ADOS, right? African,
mm,
like that.
that doesn't.
I was no. I was like,
Nobody
bro,
cares
in
about
my
that.
circle, we don't do that.
If your money's green, we work with it. We don't care. As long as the money is green, we do
Oh,
not care. Wow, we care. What? What?
I don't know, dude. That's why I was like, hey, earlier on, I saw you pop it. I said, dude, look, Can you come up here,
As
please?
long as the money is green, we do not care.
Oh shit,
So I don't know where this is coming from, but
bro.
if
I
you
don't
think
either.
if you think we're going when you bring a deal of $1 million, we say, "Oh, you're ADS now. We don't do."
Oh no no no!
Nah,
I'm Nigerian. He's ADOS. By the
we
way,
don't.
engineering cannabis is Nigerian. So
We don't. We
chaotic
don't.
truth.
We
Just
don't
so
deal
you
with that.
know,
We don't deal with that money. We don't. No, we do not care.
we are not trying to hear that shit, man.
The money is green. Come on in, man. Come eat. Come and eat. Let's talk business. We do not care. So
No, this is
please,
true Afro-Futurism right here,
that
man. We do
sentiment
not
about all.
care.
I know that sentiment about that. We do not care. If your million and my million is gonna make 3 billion,
I don't give
what?
a goddamn. Hey, wait,
Good luck with
where
that.
you want me to meet you at, man?
Where we going? We do not care. We don't even need to know your name or your history. As long
Man,
as the
listen.
money's gonna make
As long
money,
as the
we
money's
do not.
good, man, and you good, hey, man, let's holler.
So that's the baseline of it. So if you think out here people really care about your background and all that, yeah, you
Okay.
really are
All
lost.
right, you ain't really serious then.
You really are lost. Nobody
No.
cares right here.
Yeah, you ain't serious at all, man.
Everybody's making money, so please, really stop all this. It's only on YouTube, and please, if you really are focusing on YouTube and making people, if you think the real life is YouTube, you really need to log off YouTube and go out because
Just
again,
get a breath of fresh air, man. Go for a goddamn walk.
nobody really cares what's going on YouTube and ADOS and all that. I know a lot of people who says, "What? What? I don't care. Let's go. Money. If I'm gonna write an algorithm with someone and he's gonna make millions of dollars of it, do you really care? Does he really care where I'm from?
Do
He'll
you think I cared when my business partner, who became my business partner, like he approached me like in the manosphere. This is where we met. He's from Somalia. You think I gave a shit?
Nobody cares as
No
long as
one cares.
are we gonna make money? Yes. You know what
That's
you're
it.
doing? Sure. Yeah. Okay. Let's go.
We align with our views and thoughts on business. That's it. It doesn't
Yeah.
fucking matter. Look, even
Nobody.
Gilgamy said he goes, indeed, business is business, and it's better when it's with our worldwide kin. God damn it, that's it.
Nobody cares. Truly, really, nobody cares.
Jesus, how simple can you? You can't make it more simple than that, right there.
So
Hold on,
if you're
let me do that.
thinking,
Boom, get a
if
taste of that, y'all.
if you really think this is what the real world is in YouTube space, you really need to go outside. This is
Yeah,
not world.
either come over here, fuck with us, or go outside, man.
Go
I
outside.
would say both,
Go both. Do
both.
something.
Yes.
The world is way too big and YouTube is way too small. What YouTube just feeds your biases. I always call YouTube a bias algorithm. It just feeds your biases.
That is very true.
So please, again, please, all this, please stop. It's not helping anybody. But
And
again,
it's not really truly
it's
Afrofuturistic. It's
not.
not. No, it's not.
It's not. What is out here, the real technology. Just go outside and see what's happening in healthcare or in any industry. You really see how evolutionary it's going to be and how backwards thinking some of these YouTube streets are. Because I guess, especially in Manosphere, it's a backward entity right now. So again, go outside. This is all the ADOS stuff. I never subscribed to it, but
Nah, me
go
neither.
outside.
Yeah.
You will see what's happening. Most of the YouTubers who are actually talking about those ADO stuff, I promise you, if they have business partners who are Nigerians, they're not gonna tell you on YouTube. They're gonna like, look, I'm making money. Good luck with all this stuff. And if you bring up, hey, aren't you the guy who's doing ADOS to with his business partners, and he probably fight you. So please believe, money, real money, outweighs any of this ADOS.
All that bullshit you talking, man.
I
Like whatever you
promise.
talking chaotic truth, you ain't really about no action.
I promise you, if that dude comes out and says, have a partner who's a Nigerian, and you come in and say, hey, aren't you talking about the ADO and stuff? He will probably fight because you're messing with his money. So believe money trumps everything. So nah, but
All
that's
right.
it. All right,
All right.
man.
Well, look, man. Hey, dude, I appreciate you for pulling up. I was hoping you would, and you did, man. I appreciate it, man.
No problem.
All right. Hey,
All
look,
right,
this weekend I'm gonna try to just shoot your call, but we got to catch up.
no problem, man. I'm here.
All right, brother. All right, brother.
Peace.
Peace. All right, man. Hey, man. Look, that's my brother, engineering cannabis, man. Like I said, I got my folks is we are all diaspora, right? So we all folks. I don't know what that dude chaotic truth was talking about today, but we just stomped a mud hole in that bullshit, right? We have brothers from the continent pulling up. We had Ado's brothers here, right? We had our OG Nagone 11 pull up. Okay, I need a big salute and shout outs to my big bro Nagone. Okay, right, that's one of my real ones right there, man. So yeah, man, bump this bullshit this dude chaotic truth is talking about, man. He on some dumb shit. With that, I'm a chunk deuces. We will try to be back later on this evening. Peace out, y'all.